This is episode 41 of the Bits for You podcast. Hopefully, this is actually not hopefully. This is the one that's going to be online. We actually recorded the segments for this episode on Monday, and we were having some audio difficulties. Turns out that Javier was having issues with his microphone all along. Not the actual equipment per se, it was the connection. So he has a 3.5 millimeter jack, audio jack, and he had it connected somehow to his fucking keyboard, and it wasn't grounded, his keyboard. So we were getting a lot of humming sound, buzzing sound, which you might have noticed in past episodes. Maybe some more than others, because I filtered most of that audio out, and it's hardly noticeable, but it was so fucking terrible when we recorded this on Monday. We decided not to air it. We decided to redo it again, but before we record it, we wanted to pinpoint the issue. So after some long, excruciating time, Javier decided to take out the audio jack from the keyboard and hook it straight to his computer. After I did research, it turns out that that was the right way to go, because his computer's grounded. The audio jack needs to be grounded to avoid interference. So if you guys are doing any YouTube videos or Twitch streaming or YouTube streaming, and you guys are using a microphone that is a audio jack or 3.5 millimeter, make sure it's grounded. Hooking it straight up to your computer should do the trick. Sometimes the components inside your computer might not be grounded, or your computer might not be connected to a grounded power source, and you will have to resolve that before you get a good quality recording. Speaking of microphones, this recording here is done with the Blue Raspberry microphone. These are the mobile microphones. I plan to take this to any interviews that I do at certain locations that are not here at the Bits for You studio. I can take it to friends' house as well if you want to do a recording there, or even a Wise Guy session outside of the Bits for You studios. So this is a very expensive microphone. It's small. It's about the size of an iPhone, and you can transfer it very easily anywhere you go. And the Blue microphone brands, they make the Blue Yeti. Blue Yetis have been known to be some of the best USB condenser microphones on the market. Gives you studio quality sound, at your home. And they tend to run about $150. I've seen them on Amazon. This is being released on Black Friday. Amazon has a Black Friday sale on Blue Yeti microphones. I think it's only the black color and the silver color, I think they call it, or white color. $89. That's a fucking great deal for anyone interested in a great USB condenser microphone. The Blue Yeti series, made by Blue Designs. Great microphone. This one I'm using is part of the Blue microphone designs. This one is, as I mentioned, it's the Blue Raspberry. The Raspberries tend to run around $200. I was researching. I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna spend $200 on a microphone. Especially a tiny one that has a lot of the features that the Blue Yeti series has, minus a few features like the I think one of them is the you can choose the settings of either omnidirectional microphone or just stereo microphone. I believe this one doesn't have the omnidirectional microphone, but it's still a great sounding portable microphone. And I got it on eBay, used, for under $90. And it's just as new. It doesn't have any major dents or scratches. The only thing that didn't work was the lightning cable, the micro USB to lightning cable. The lightning cable is what I would have used to connect it to my iPhone, so I could just record straight out of my iPhone. I had to order another one of those Lightning to micro for USB cables on Amazon. It should arrive today. As of right now, this is being just connected from the micro USB on the back of the microphone to the USB on the computer. Besides that, Thanksgiving was great. Javier and I go into that in a little bit. I want to hear what you're thankful for on Thanksgiving. If you guys do all that celebrating stuff that many people here in this country do, or you guys do your own traditions. I'm interested to know people's traditions, their cultures, how they celebrate it. Let us know. You can email us at bitsforyoupodcast@gmail.com. The link is going to be in the description of this episode. So whatever app you're listening to us on, you can just click it and send us an email right from there. Our Twitter is at bitsforyoupodcast, and Javier goes into that at the end of the recording as well. So yeah, in this episode we discuss Thanksgiving, as I just mentioned, the Ring of Honor wrestling. Javier goes into WWE Survivor Series. Some things we go into. I don't remember how we go into Power Rangers and Dragon Ball Z. Black Friday deals, what we found and what we did on Black Friday for the shopping. And we give our review on Justice League. Yeah, I'm not going to say much about it because I go in deep into it in the actual podcast. So listen, let us know. I like hearing your thoughts, what you guys thought about Justice League, what you guys thought about this podcast episode. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Our Instagram is Bits for You Pod. That's BITS, the number 4, P. Sorry, fuck. Let me start over. BITS, number 4, YOUPOD. I'm mostly the one. I'm the one that's mainly running the Instagram like 90% of the time. Javier and I equally share Twitter. So yeah. Send us your thoughts on any of those platforms. I'll stop talking. And hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, that's it. All right. Shut the fuck up, Robert. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was good. I had turkey.
You had turkey on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What the fuck? Was it a delicious turkey?
Yeah, actually, what I really wanted to do, not really, but I wanted to do, was watch Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Where can you find that movie?
It used to be on Netflix. It's not anymore. So I'm like,
so we're gonna have to rent it on some video app like fucking iTunes and shit, or Amazon.
Yeah, I found out this is a Thanksgiving and then Thanksgiving 3. They skipped the sequel.
They went from 1 straight to 3.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's a what the fuck movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Doesn't he say something like "nice tits, motherfucker, gobble gobble"?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh shit! I gotta hunt that down. Thanksgiving. So that's how you ate turkey? No pie?
Yeah, just with my fiance's family.
Any pie?
I had several pies.
Was Putang pie one of them?
No. I had the cheesecake. Well, pumpkin cheesecake. I had there was a pineapple.
I'm not a fan of cheesecake, pie. Man. I don't know how.
Neither is my stomach, but I like it.
Neither is your stomach. I hope you used the portable bidet after that.
No.
No. I'm sure lots of people bombed that bathroom.
Probably.
How many people were at the dinner at your fiance's?
Like 8. No, 8 adults. How about that?
8 adults. Okay.
Yeah, we did one of those Secret Santa things too, or whatever you call them.
Wait, it's not even
It's not pull names.
It's not
pull names.
Oh, just the names?
Yeah.
So who did you get? Can you tell us?
No.
Why? You think they might be listening to this?
You never know.
Can you give me a hint?
Female.
Okay. That's a great hint. Oh shit! What's the ratio to men to female in the secret name pulling thing?
50-50.
Oh, okay.
No single people.
Okay. All right. So you got a lady. Well, I hope it turns out okay. Whatever gift you decide to get this person.
Yeah, what we do is we put the names down, what their favorite color, their sizes, and something they are looking forward to get.
Something that so they list one item that they really like or want.
Yeah.
See, we're doing that shit at work, and the one at work says, I like to wear blank. So you have to write something you like to wear. I like to read blank. What I really want is something blank. So I did stupid shit like when you read the question where it says I like to wear, I put clothes on occasion. I basically put what I really want as an Amazon gift card. I don't really want people to get me anything. Then they get me the wrong shit. I'm very picky when it comes to that. So gift card's the way to go, sir.
I was very straightforward because I have a wish list on Amazon. So I just put exactly one of the things I wanted, which was the Power Rangers Shiraki Sentai Ranger DVD series.
That was a tongue twister. What the fuck did you just say?
If you compared it to the American version, in the American version, it's the Zeo series, the ones with the Machine Empire.
How long ago was that in the U.S.?
That was in the 90s.
Oh shit! So you're talking about 20 years at least.
Yeah, I remember. This is Power Rangers. This is Japanese. So this is recorded in the 80s.
Yeah, but that particular series.
Well, I'm not getting the American one. I'm getting the Japanese one. So it's the 80s.
Okay. But the series that was the U.S. based series, when did that air? Do you remember the year or?
I just think early 90s, maybe, or mid 90s.
Mid to late would it have to be because I think the show first aired in the U.S. in '93.
Oh, so mid, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, because I've been collecting some of them on DVD. I have 2 of the series on DVD. So
you requested the entire series on
it's
DVD.
$30
on DVD, right?
They don't sell it by volumes. You have to buy the whole set.
Oh, okay. And it's easy to find. It's sold by a U.S. distributor.
Amazon sells it.
Oh, okay. Got
yeah,
it. And it's the uncut version. It's in Japanese.
Yeah, subtitled.
Okay. Hopefully,
this is not gonna be some huge seller. This is gonna Japanese Power Rangers with subtitles from the 80s. But this is the classics, and I wanted to watch them. I started off with the one that started here in America, the one with the dinosaurs.
Right.
I started off with that one, and that was my gateway. So I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that's edited out. Or not shown.
I think you discussed it around the time that the Power Rangers reboot movie came out earlier this year. Was it around April?
Yeah, and I know I left off a lot of the things. I mean, it's almost a completely different show.
Give us a couple of things, just a couple of things that's different from the U.S. version and the Japanese version.
I'll just say one major one. So the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger, everybody remembers those two.
Right.
So in the show, the Green Ranger does die, and so in the American series, you saw it a few times when the Rangers wearing the shield on him that the Green Ranger used to wear.
Yes.
He only did it for a few episodes, and Red Ranger had the.
Did he have the flute, the green flute as well?
Yeah, he used that. So, in the Japanese one, he just keeps it because the green one's dead.
But in the American version, he doesn't really die. Something happens to him, he loses his powers, and then he comes back as the White Ranger.
Yeah, they did this whole thing with the green candle, if you remember.
Yeah,
they did the green candle thing here too, but the green candle, when it went off, he died. He didn't just lose his powers.
Got it.
And obviously everybody's names is different.
Yeah.
Bandora is Rita, and she is evil. Like, she's a witch. Mm-hmm. She has reasons for being evil, and she was trying to resurrect her son. And she used Satan to resurrect him. Oh
shit! So they go into a big backstory with the villains.
Not a huge backstory, but they explain some stuff. Yeah. So
that's a lot more than the American version. The American version, it was it's all like, hey, I'm evil. I want to destroy the world. That's it.
Right. No, she's evil for a reason, and stuff like that. And we have Satan in here, people dying. It's still a kids show in Japanese. You can still tell it's a kids show in Japanese, but they'll go into harder topics like that.
Right, but I guess they're
compared to American.
Yeah, I guess their censors are more flexible than the American censors.
To some degree. So this I guess death as a topic isn't so bad, maybe. I'm not into the Japanese culture as much as you think. I watch Japanese stuff, but doesn't mean I know a great deal about their culture. But I don't get the sense that death is such a huge thing. Like, even in Dragon Ball Z,
it's not taboo in the way that it was, or maybe in some circles still is here for kids programming.
Yeah, I remember in Dragon Ball Z, when they first edited it in English, they would say, "I'm sending you to another dimension," instead of saying, "I'm going to kill you."
Right. Exactly.
And Dragon Ball is still aiming
or they would say in Dragon Ball, or I think the original Dragon Ball, they would say something like, "Oh, I'm going to hurt you," instead of like, "I'm going to kill you."
Maybe the English Dragon Ball wasn't. Dragon Ball didn't catch on here. It was Z.
Right.
But yeah, the same thing. They just completely avoided death.
Yeah. Well, even I don't know if you saw Sailor Moon, but Sailor Moon, the same thing. I think characters died, and they didn't refer to them as death. They would just say, "I'm going to hurt you," or some analogy of death.
I'm trying to remember. Man, I can't remember as well. I know. Tuxedo Mask does die, but he comes back to life.
Yeah, that was actually shown here, but I guess I don't know. Maybe because
they cut up small things. I remember,
but they weren't considered teenagers, right? They were considered young adults.
I think they were aiming that for little girls because they sold dolls and everything.
Right, but what was the actual age of the character?
Oh, she was in junior high.
So they were high schoolers or junior high schoolers.
Mid school.
Huh.
Middle school.
Okay.
13.
Okay. So the Tuxedo Mask was in high school as well?
College.
Oh, okay. So that's what was confusing to me. I thought he was, already like a full blown adult. Had a job and stuff, but he was in college. Well, still, he's over the age of 18. He's dating a junior high school student. So
yeah, I mean, she gets older, but still. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a big age difference between the two.
Yeah, I guess the age differences or the laws of consent are different in Japan.
Maybe they didn't really show him doing much to her. Maybe because she technically got older. I don't know. That's something I went into because Tuxedo Mask is not like a huge focal point in that show.
I was never. This is during the craze in the early to mid 90s where they would show a bunch of animes. They would try to bring them to the U.S. And I think I only saw the first season of that show, and here and there. So I never really followed it. So I can't really say, what the romance angle was on that show. So
yeah,
I don't know. Don't know. Not at all.
I have a feeling the American one did kind of allude to death. I don't think they ever said anything stupid like that. So I think there was death.
Yeah, very likely. Maybe it was geared mostly towards younger adults, teenagers, while shows like Dragon Ball Z and Power Rangers were geared towards younger kids. That's my theory.
Yeah, I only saw like the first season in English. I watched everything in Japanese, so that's why it's kind of harder for me to remember.
Oh, so you continued it in Japanese, uncut, uncensored.
They're not gonna cut the Japanese one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw like the stuff with Anna and Alan. That was like filler episodes. But after that, that's it. The show ended for a long time in America. So if I wanted to watch any more, I watched it in Japanese. So I watched the whole thing in Japanese. And I went back and I even saw the first season in Japanese. I have that on DVD.
Didn't they do? I saw it on some website that somebody reviewed it. Isn't there a reboot or a remake?
Yeah, Cinnamon Crystal. I haven't watched it.
So what's that like? It's not a full blown remake because they're changing things. So that when they change things, you consider it a reboot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I haven't watched it, so I can't really say much about it. I just seen small clips and stuff.
Okay. Got it. So, perfect segue. So, my Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
My Thanksgiving was great. It's the first time that my fiance cooked Thanksgiving dinner here. We've gone to my aunt's house, but this time we decided to stay here, and it was delicious. Green bean casserole was delicious. The turkey, it was turkey wrapped in bacon. The entire turkey wrapped in fucking delicious, crispy, burnt bacon. Delicious. Did I say delicious? Delicious.
No, you didn't. Was it super delicious?
Fuck that word. So, what else did we have? Oh, and then she made a piece of pork for those that don't like turkey, potato. What else? I can't remember the other things. I ate so much, so yeah, it was great. Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for?
Food.
Okay. That's it, right? Just food?
Yeah.
Very, very lacking in thankfulness for Thanksgiving, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go into did you do anything for Black Friday or right after Thanksgiving? What do you think about this whole fucking that just maybe I would say a few years ago, 5-6 years ago, retail stores were closed completely on Thanksgiving, and around that time they started opening like at 9 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, 9 p.m. Then the following year 8 p.m. Then the following year 7 and so on. Now they're basically opening at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day with the Thanksgiving Day sales. What do you think about that?
Well, I could say just for Black Friday this year, I didn't buy shit. It looked there was nothing significant, like. But
yeah, but besides the buying stuff, but what do you think about that? What do you think about the retail industry is not letting people stay home and eat Thanksgiving with their dinner? You know, Thanksgiving dinner with their families, and they're telling them, "No, we're going to be open at 5 p.m. You gotta go to work."
I think it's their quick answer to Amazon because Amazon would have their deals on Friday.
Right.
Actually, they have it basically the whole week now, but it's kind of stupid. Just do it the day of Black Friday. Don't do it on Thanksgiving. People want to be home.
Exactly. Now
if
they
not,
basically have
only
to.
Volunteers,
They basically have to
I
have
bet you get not enough volunteers.
Yeah, they basically have to have their Thanksgiving meals like for lunch and breakfast, and because they got to go to the retail store where there's Target, Walmart, Best Buy at fucking 5-6 p.m. so that a bunch of people, and then the people that are that don't work retail, that are home, they're like they eat quickly and then they're let's go shopping. I'm like, really? You're supposed to be with your family. Like, to me, the whole meaning of Thanksgiving is no longer like spend it with friends and stuff and family. It's like, oh, let's just hang around, eat, and then go buy shit that we probably don't really need, but it's on sale. I don't know. It's just stupid to me. So I avoid that on Thanksgiving Day. That's the only way that we can hurt the industry or make a ding and an impression saying like, fuck you. We're not gonna shop on Thanksgiving Day. But I did do my shopping online. Does that count, or is that still no? That doesn't count because those people still get to stay home with their families.
I think shopping online is the way to go. It's just I think retail is just trying to combat that in a way.
Yeah, that's why they decide to do it earlier and earlier. But as you mentioned, Amazon's been doing it the whole week. I got a couple things on Monday or Tuesday. Yesterday, Amazon then decided to do their Black Friday sales. A lot of their video games from Bethesda Studios were on sale, like Wolfenstein 2, $25. Skyrim and a bunch of the older classics were like $15, $20. Shadow of War, I actually picked it up yesterday for $25 on Amazon. A lot of stores have it on. What's that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, $25. And then that game came out a month ago, like 6-7 weeks ago. And I wait 6-7 weeks later, bam, $25 fucking dollars, brand new. They didn't have to pay no $60 for that shit. Well, not that the game is shit. Everybody says it's great. Other games that were on sale were Persona 5, Amazon and Best Buy, even GameStop. GameStop for the first time in a long time had brand new games on sale. They had games like Shadow of War for $25. I think Shadow of War was $25 everywhere. So I think that was the publisher thing.
Even on Steam, it was pretty cheap.
So Shadow of War was $25 in Target, Best Buy, GameStop. Same thing with Bethesda games like Wolfenstein 2. Just came out like a month ago. It's $25 in Target, Best Buy, Amazon.
I don't know why. I don't know how they got Shadow War already on sale because brand new game, and it was the top selling game in October.
It came out in early October. Not that it matters because Wolfenstein came out the same day as Mario Odyssey, and they already have Wolfenstein for $25, $30. But I guess the publisher just wanted to do it that way and gave free reign to the studios to like lower the price and get get it into as many hands as it can.
I have no idea how it works, but it's on sale.
Just my hypothesis of how it could work or is working. But what other games are on sale? So Persona 5, I heard great things about it. I'm tempted to pick it up. It's still on sale today, and I think most of the sales will still continue until Saturday. I'm planning to get this podcast online today, this Black Friday, November 24th. So, so there's still sales on for people that are listening. I'll try to see if I can find some and put them on Twitter.
Horizon Zero Dawn is another one.
Horizon Zero Dawn
the
is
VR
on
set.
sale?
Hmm?
It's on sale, Horizon?
Yeah, I think Best Buy had it for like $19.
Oh, Amazon had it for $19, but then it sold out quickly. That's what pisses me off.
You can buy it digital still. But just go to Best Buy if you want the
I don't want to go to the fucking store, dude. And the digital, I don't want the digital. I just like try to stay away especially if I leave the digital purchases for like independent games because they don't use a lot of memory. I don't want my hard drive space being taken up, and then I have to, even though it's digital, I can uninstall it and reinstall it because the Sony knows that I bought it. But I just don't like that uninstalling, reinstalling shit. So I just rather have a physical copy for a AAA title and leave the digital purchase for independent games, which don't take up a lot of hard drive. The most they'll take up I've seen is 2 gigabytes. Fucking digital game would take like 25. You feel me?
It depends. If you get something like I think like Dead by Daylight, that's gonna be several gigs.
Yeah,
that's
but
independent.
I don't know if it'll be like a full 40 gig game like fucking Grand Theft Auto 5. You know?
Yeah, I don't know how many gigs, but yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. So did you do any? You were mentioning that you didn't do any shopping, right?
No, the only thing I was considering to buy was the GoPro Hero
camera
5. Yeah.
A GoPro camera? What the fuck do you want a GoPro camera for?
So I could record myself sitting in the backyard.
sitting in the backyard. I was imagining you wanted to take up parkour or some fucking form of free running or something.
No, I wanted it for my trip to Greece. Because I'll be hiking and all this other stuff going around.
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about your cell phone and it falling and breaking.
Yeah.
Huh. What's the sale price on the GoPro?
GoPro right now. So here's the funny thing. On Best Buy, I think it was. It was a doorbuster for $350. Amazon's normal price is just $350 with a $50 gift card too. But I've been just because the 6 has been out. I think that's why they're selling the 5 at the sale price because I don't think it's selling that well.
Right now, Amazon has the GoPro Hero 5 for $350.
Yeah, and you get the bundle with a gift card for $50.
Oh, I don't see that anywhere on Amazon, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
You have to switch but you go to bundles or something. There's a bunch of different ones. There's one with the gift card, and it's still the same price.
Amazon has a GoPro Hero 5. They label it Session for $299. I don't know what the fuck that means.
I think it's a smaller one, or I don't know what. They have different iterations of them. Hero's like the Hero 5 Black is just this kind of standard.
It's the new standard rugged one, I suppose.
Well, that's not even the newest one. The newest one is the 6.
Oh, the 6 is $499 on Amazon.
Right, and the reason I think they put 5 on sale was it was originally only $100 cheaper. And the 6 was a lot better.
Fucking lot of money, dude, for a camera. Don't they have? I'm sure they have competitors. Aren't the competitors?
Yeah, Sony has one and stuff like that.
Okay.
I was considering to buy it, but I do want the 6, not the 5, because of the improvements.
What are the improved features? 4K video? I mean, really? Do you really want to record in 4K?
Well, one of the things you can do with 4K is the slow motion. Like the 5 can't do that.
The 5 cannot do
the color when you record, the colors come out better in 6. When you're in the shadows, lighter, darker color, it doesn't come as well out in the 5. It comes out better in the 6.
Wait a second. I'm looking at the features right now, comparing them. The GoPro 5 does 4K recording.
I'm telling you, with slow motion, you can't do slow motion with the 4K on the 5.
I don't really need slow motion, man. I don't really need it.
It's pretty cool.
You can do the slow motion editing yourself in the computer.
Now go ahead. I'm not gonna do that.
I can do slow motion recording in 4K on my spanking brand new iPhone 10. 4K, sir, 30 frames a second. How about that?
Nice.
So that you were only considering the GoPro, nothing else that you really wanted or needed? Well, not needed, but wanted.
The PS4 VR bundle, but actually already sold out on Amazon.
Oh yeah, that was they dropped the price to what is it, $299?
I forget what price I was going for, but
for the past year it was $399.
They dropped it by $50 though, so I don't. It's not oh yeah, I remember now. It's $350 still. It's just you get a game with it. But the game is Skyrim, so it's like Skyrim is already worth
it's a bundle.
$15. So it's actually, you're spending more money on it.
Yeah, so I see. Yeah, it's $3.
That's why I didn't buy it.
$349 for the Skyrim bundle. The Gran Turismo bundle of the PlayStation VR is $299.
Oh.
And they still have it on sale. Amazon. It's not sold out.
The Skyrim bundle is not worth it because Skyrim is like $15 right now.
Yeah, if you just want the actual VR headset, it's $270 on Amazon right now.
Actually, I'm thinking the wrong thing again. Skyrim VR, the game itself, is $60.
That's
right. You have to buy a different. I forget. You have to buy a different game for it.
They can go fuck themselves.
A different disc, should I say?
I'm sure you could download a patch or something or a digital version. I still think even at $270 for the PlayStation VR, I still think that's pricey. They should, once it's at $199, I'll possibly consider it, but at almost $300 is still pricey. I mean, you can get a PlayStation 4 Pro on Black Friday. They have a bunch of sales for and a $50 gift card for $350 on GameStop, and I think Best Buy was selling it for $300. So that's $100 off on the original price. So, yeah. I didn't really get anything else. As I mentioned, I got the Shadow of War, $25 on Amazon. Then I went ahead and purchased on Blu-ray the Baby Driver. It was $9. I didn't get the fucking emoji movie like you were fucking mentioning on Twitter.
Oh, I bought it for you, and I got a protection plan on it.
Go fuck yourself.
If it breaks,
if you give me that movie, I'm gonna shit on it and then throw it in your face covered in shit.
Oh, I'm not there, so you can't throw it at me.
Actually, I'd rather watch. If you give me that movie, I'd rather watch a unicorn rape you with its fucking horn or whatever the fuck you call that shit on its head.
Sex?
Yeah, anally rape you.
No, that's okay.
Fucking son of a bitch.
But that's how much you hate emoji for saying that kind of stuff.
Yes, fucking emoji movie starting a fucking fake news shit on Twitter.
Fake news? You calling it fake news?
Yes, fake news. So, yeah, you guys let us know if you guys have any other Black Friday deals or what you guys picked up. I'd love to hear what you guys, purchased. Whatever it is. Doesn't have to be games or movies.
Emoji movie.
Yeah, go fuck yourself with the emoji movie.
They should make a sequel.
Dude, that movie was
movie.
terrible. The critics panned it. It didn't get a high cinema score either, and I don't think it made much money at the box office. So,
Speaking of the box office.
Yeah, so this is actually the second time we record this because the first time we were having audio issues. But then the first time we recorded it, which never aired, was that we mentioned that the estimates for Justice League was 96 million, but the actual numbers on Monday were 94 million. So it did even worse. And
this week, Thanksgiving week, it's predicted far because we're recording this on Black Friday.
Right.
They expect it's estimated now that because Coco is doing better, will be number one. Justice League is going to lose out to Coco.
Coco is that new Pixar movie that's been getting great numbers and great reviews.
Yeah,
that's good. I haven't seen you know what? I've been busy with Pixar movies that I have. Oh, actually, busy as in I haven't seen the last few. I didn't finish. I didn't catch Inside Out at the cinema. I think I caught it on HBO, but I never finished it. The dinosaur movie, it didn't interest me. And
The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, some people say it wasn't all that great.
I liked it. It was really good.
Oh, okay. So I might check it out. Cars.
It's slow. It's slow and emotional.
Right. Oh, okay. What else have they done besides The Good Dinosaur and Inside Out? Cars, right? Wasn't Cars 3 this year?
Cars 3.
Yeah, but
Cars 2 was the latest one.
I don't watch any of the Cars movies. I think you and I saw the first one, and that's it. That's as far as I went with Cars. It doesn't interest me. You saw them all?
No, I didn't see 2. Actually, I saw most of 2. I shouldn't even say that. I saw 3. I saw 3 in the theaters.
Okay, I'm not even going to ask why, but how was 3?
It's okay. It's nothing bad. It's just
I just find those movies to be weak, and they don't appeal to me.
I think the Cars series it's okay series, but I think it's definitely more aimed for kids. The reason they keep on making them because you're like, what the fuck?
It's the merchandise
had 3 parts, right? Merchandise. They sell a shit ton of stuff with Cars, so that's why it keeps on going. I mean, it doesn't do that bad in the box office. It does well. It's just the merchandise is where the money's at with this one.
Give me a second. For some reason, I hear my my TV's soundbar turned on, and it seems that the neighbor, which is right next door, very close, connected to my soundbar. So, what did you say about me while I stepped away?
Huh?
What did you say about me while I stepped away?
I was watching a clip of Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Fucking Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I have to check out Coco. That looks like something my fiance will enjoy.
Yeah, I think I will likely watch it this weekend.
You as well? You want to take your fiance?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can give our thoughts on the next episode. So let's go back. So since this is a redo episode. We just mentioned Justice League.
Just to give it a comparison. Now we were talking about money. 6-day total, 122 million.
Right.
6-day total for Wonder Woman was 138 million.
Uh-huh.
Wonder Woman's gonna have longer legs than Justice League, and Justice League has her, and 4 other big DC heroes. What does that tell you?
It tells you that people are very disappointed or distrusting in DC's and Warner Brothers DC universe, because it all started with Batman vs. Superman. Record numbers for a comic book movie, $166 million in the opening 3-day weekend. And from 166 million, and went, that's just 2 superheroes, Batman and Superman. Those are the headliners, and then Wonder Woman comes in at the end for like 5 minutes. Now take that example, and you take the example of Justice League that opened to $94 million. That's a big fucking difference.
Let's be for real. Batman v Superman fucked it all up. Wonder Woman did not have that stink.
Nope. It actually held very well week to week.
Right. Wonder Woman didn't have that stink. Batman nor Superman were in it. People do not like Batman and Superman in this franchise. I think Batman could be someone people like. It's just they fucked him up royally in Batman vs. Superman. Why is Batman killing people like nothing?
Yeah, that's true. When his code has always been...
The director could throw me a reason, but you didn't fucking go over that in the movie whatsoever.
Not even the 3-hour version, which is slightly improved over the theatrical version. That's explained.
Yeah. So, and then Superman, no one's been liking.
But okay, let's touch back on Batman. So in the Batman versus Superman movie, forget about let's not talk about the killing that he did. The Batman character, I think people just didn't like how he was. I mean, I didn't have an issue with him, but I'm gonna touch upon him on Justice League. I didn't like how Batman was completely portrayed in Justice League.
I'm okay with him. It's just the problems I had with him in the movie were related to the writing. As in, when I say the writing, I mean the story. How the story was going and why he said stuff. And I'm like, I think Ben Affleck as Batman is a good call. I see him as Bruce Wayne. Great job.
Right.
Your story fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's true. And now and
then Superman, everything went wrong with him. They made him dark.
Are you referring to the Man of Steel movie, or Batman vs. Superman, or Justice League?
The first two, because in Justice League, they finally started lining him up to like what you would think Superman would be like.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem with Superman, and they don't learn their lesson. They did it in Superman Returns and stuff. Nobody wants a serious Superman movie.
Yeah.
He's lighthearted. Just go with that. Can he be dark? Sure. Will audiences embrace it? It has to be really fucking good. We're talking like what Christopher Nolan did for Batman. That's the kind of director you need for him to be dark. And I don't know if anyone even has that passion and that idea to go with it.
I know what you're saying, but look, my fiance's daughter is a big Batman fan, and I haven't really asked her, but this is just based on conversation with my fiance and I. She even has a Batman tattoo. So she told my fiance that she wasn't she's after her, watching the Justice League movie last week. She didn't enjoy that much. They didn't get into details as to why, but I'm gonna say that it was probably due to Batman's portrayal. He came off in the Justice League movie. He came off as
spoilers, I guess, right?
Yeah, spoilers. We're gonna do a spoiler thing. It's a lot of people are really everybody that wanted to watch it watched it, and if you guys want to skip the next 5-10 minutes while we discuss it, you guys can. at times when it was just, for example, Javier, when it was just him in the beginning when he's trying to get the team together and he goes to talk to Aquaman, you see him all rugged, and they show the beautiful Iceland landscape, and that was cool. And you see he has a beard, so he's obviously tired and just wants to find a team. That I dealt with okay. And when he was talking one-on-one with Alfred, that was okay. But then when he tries to make these little one-handed comments like "I'm rich," that's my superpower, or he tries to make it like they try to make him too jokey, like too not funny, but like throw little bits of humor. That just didn't fly with me. I guess I still have the Christopher Nolan Batman engraved in my mind, that part of Batman and the Justice in the new DC universe isn't flying with me.
Let's just hit the root of this. It was changed. Zack Snyder would have done stuff like that, really. And let me go back to what I was saying. I enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman in Batman vs. Superman, but I didn't enjoy the Batman character in Justice League. It felt like two different characters. A lot of things felt different. So for that movie, they powered up Justice League. They powered up Wonder Woman. Right. They powered up Superman. Unexplained. Right. Why is Wonder Woman all of a sudden this strong and this fast? We saw Wonder Woman. She wasn't like this. She was fast in not as Wonder fast Woman. As dodging fucking bullets. Well, not dodging, but bouncing off bullets. I mean, in the comic book, she is fast to a crowd. And she jumps really high and at times even flies. So, I get that. Talk about the movies. She wasn't doing this kind of stuff. She couldn't block bullets for a whole crowd right. Of people. There, like one person, you sure. There are a shit ton of plot holes in Justice League, as there were. It's not even a plot hole. It's just the characters. Like all of a sudden, nothing's explained about the character there. Yeah, it's a plot hole. That's what it is. It's a hole in the plot that doesn't explain the character. Whether it's not explaining the plot, the story, or the character, it's a plot hole because it's part of the movie. But yeah, you're right. They didn't explain that. That I agree with. Did it bother me? No, not really, because it was cool to look at. But that's the thing. They're trying to compete with Marvel. It's not all only about looking cool. Oh, let's just make her do this. Oh, how does she do that? Don't worry about it. We don't have to go into details. But you kind of do, because Doctor Strange, great movie. That's Marvel. They explain how he does this and this and this. Spider-Man Homecoming, great. One of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I don't know, what is it? 5, 6 movies they've made. They explain a lot. You see how they explain the suit, how he gets this, how he does that. I can go on and on in Marvel. Marvel explains, to a certain degree, a lot of the characters. And as you and I are talking, Justice League, like Wonder Woman, they didn't explain that at all. It's just for cool factor. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That's the thing. This movie was... Marvel took their time to introduce the Hulk and... right. And Iron Man and everybody in the Justice. I mean, well, except Hawkman. Hawkeye. Hawkeye, right? Because no one really cares about him. Yeah. But all the major guys had their own movies before Avengers, Thor, Captain America, blah blah. Mm-hmm. Justice League, only Wonder Woman. Yeah. And Superman. Yep, that's it. Superman. Mm-hmm. It was just Wonder Woman that people liked a lot. It was people loved. Anybody else? Batman hasn't even had his own movie. Yeah, he hasn't. If you had the Christopher Nolan's Batman, then no one would throw a red flag here. But it's not that one. Yeah, it's a completely different universe. Like those universes don't exist side by side. Yeah, it's sad because if it was that Batman, people would be a lot more invested. I sure would. Yeah, I sure would. Even Christian Bale had mentioned that he would have wanted to be Batman right before he saw Batman vs Superman. He's like, man, I missed the character. At one point, I was in negotiations to do it, but then they decided to go in a completely different direction, and they fucked up. They fucked up big time, man. I like. What else can I say? I could say that
So some of the things that they got right, or that I was all right with in Justice League, was the Flash. Barry Allen was great.
He was basically Spider-Man.
Yeah, he had the humor of Peter Parker. Just wisecracking jokes, and that's his personality. And that's who
High
he
school
is.
nerd. That's what it came off like.
Yeah,
And that's
like a
Peter
nerd,
Parker is.
just a nerd. And you see a little bit of him dealing with his father in prison, by the great actor Billy Crudup. Billy Crudup was in Zack Snyder's Watchmen, so which is a great underrated comic book movie, The Watchmen. And that's going to lead me to a thing that I'm going to explain in a few minutes. Some other things that I liked were I liked Wonder Woman in Justice League. I didn't, besides her superpowers being like really drastically different than as you just explained. I didn't have an issue with her character. Still, it's just a continuation. She basically was the same character. Just 90 years later, because Wonder Woman is during World War One. What else did I like? I already mentioned that Batman felt like a completely different character than what he was in Batman vs Superman, and maybe that's because of what you mentioned, your dislike for him being very in your face and murderous, or killing people. And I guess they toned him down in this, or made him humorous. Add some more humor, and I just didn't. I wasn't feeling that. I had no issues with Cyborg, even though he didn't really do much. They kind of were trying to, or showed that they were developing his character in the beginning. Explaining why his dad did this and that. So I'll just have to go into this. Maybe I don't know if you agree, Javier. Obviously, this movie, I can tell that there was a lot of things cut out. Like some things were edited out and didn't flow from scene to scene. It was a 2-hour movie. Batman vs Superman was 2.5 hours. Zack Snyder likes to make long movies for whatever reason. 300 was a 2-hour movie, but it was great. The pacing was great. It flowed. Watchmen was 3 hours. And the Watchmen Ultimate Cut, which I own, is 3.5 hours. It's longer, and I saw it, and I loved it. I loved it even more than the 3-hour version. It flowed great, even though he tends to make long movies. Their pacing isn't bad. Like Batman vs Superman was 2.5 hours, and you can tell a lot of things were missing, and the pacing was kind of off. But the uncut version of Batman vs Superman was a slightly improved movie, and it flowed beautifully. Now, Zack Snyder had that family issue in March or April. Joss Whedon stepped in, and I'm assuming it wasn't only him, that the studio executives, there was rumors that the studio executives had their hands all over this Justice League movie, and you can clearly tell that there was a lot of shit missing. One moment you see, for example, the characters were remember the scene where they were what was that scene when Batman was fighting Steppenwolf in the tunnel, and Aquaman comes in and tries to help him get on that big spider tank? Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so when they're escaping, all of a sudden they're doing a battle, and they're escaping through the tunnel. Boom! They cut and they're outside. They're like, "Oh man, that was rough." Like, what happened there? Like, you can tell that they cut something out. It's just the editing was forced. It was. This isn't one example. There was other examples that I don't clearly remember right now. I should have mentioned them or wrote them down right after watching the movie. Actually, I'm going to start doing that. When we watch a movie that we're going to discuss, I'm going to write down my thoughts right away so I don't forget it for when we do the podcast. But there was other examples. And the cinematographer, I read an interview 2 weeks ago, said that when Zack Snyder showed the movie to Warner Brothers executives in early this year, I think it was February or March, it was 2.5 hours of Zack Snyder's cut that he showed to Warner Brothers. This was clearly missing those 30 minutes. So maybe those 30 minutes explains more. Maybe they explain why, Wonder Woman is more powerful. Maybe they explain, they could explain a lot of character stuff that was clearly missing.
It's missing movies.
Yeah, from the characters. I don't know if Cyborg needed his own movie though, because as I mentioned, they were explaining his origin, and they could have
movie time for that. Just
no
movie.
they don't. Do you think Cyborg needed a 2-hour movie?
An hour and a half or whatever, but
I don't think he did. No, I mean, not to say that he's a shitty character. Maybe there's a bunch of Cyborg fans. I'm not familiar with him, so I don't really know how they did him justice. But I don't really think that he needed his own movie. I mean, maybe a big part of the movie. Maybe he could have been in in the Flash movie, and then him and Flash, because they kind of. In this movie, they kind of allude to that him and Flash are like becoming close, like friends, and they're even cracking jokes when they're digging up fucking. Again, this is all spoilers, so they're digging up Clark Kent, Superman from the grave, and they're cracking jokes while they're. So that I would have liked to have seen that in like a Flash movie. That Cyborg is like a secondary character, and his origin is explained there. But I don't see him that I don't see that he needed his own movie. So. Aquaman, obviously, his movie's complete. It's coming out next year. I think they say June or May.
See how that does.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that does. I mean, James Wan directed it. He directed the Fast and the Furious 7, but he's mostly known for horror movies like the Saw movies. He created Saw. He created Insidious and a bunch of other horror. And The Conjuring, which is like $1 billion horror franchise now. Conjuring and Conjuring 2. And they did another Conjuring this year. Was it Annabelle or some shit like that? Yeah. Annabelle. So James Wan is he. I like his writing style, his directing style, and those horror movies are great. So I hope that they gave him a lot of freedom in Aquaman, and my fingers are crossed for a good Aquaman movie. I liked Aquaman, so let's go to Aquaman. I liked his character, even though there wasn't a lot to him. I like Jason Momoa, how he portrayed him.
There wasn't a lot not to him because they didn't explain much.
Right, they didn't explain much. But even though they didn't explain much. Did you hate his character, or were okay with it?
I was just okay with him. I feel like I was just okay with mostly everybody. They needed to really spend time on his character, and that's what I'm saying. They really needed to do what Marvel did, which is have their own movies. Wonder Woman was like explained, but she barely did anything in the movie anyway. Like the most popular hero, basically in the universe, and she did barely anything. Yeah, that's kind of what a letdown.
Yeah. Oh, and I only saw one Wonder Woman ass shot. I didn't see like 2 or 3 like you mentioned when we recorded this episode earlier, and it was a bad episode.
I'm pretty sure I saw 2.
It was just one. She was wearing her red pants and her red jacket. And the camera just zooms from her legs up, and it stops on the ass for like a second, and then they go to Batman's face.
You're referencing the conversation we had. Basically, I was saying they went from Wonder Woman, trying to empower women on her thing, to here we are showing her ass
with a bunch of men,
kind of shots, like obvious ass shots. I'm like, okay, guy director, obviously.
Well, maybe it had to do with Brett Ratner. He's a producer on these movies. His production company, Rat Pack, produced these DC movies, and Brett Ratner has been in the harassment suit, the harassment litigations. A bunch of women said that he was harassing them in like movies like Rush Hour and X-Men 3 and shit like that. Actually, Gal Gadot came out and said that she would not do Wonder Woman 2 if Brett Ratner stayed on as a producer.
Right.
And I think she has the power, so I think Warner Brothers is probably kicking Brett Ratner out of the producing role.
I think he's already been kicked out.
Yeah, that's the last thing I read online. So maybe that was his hand. He told Zack Snyder, "Hey, put the camera there." Fucking pervert.
Yeah. So my complaint was, we go from that to that, and it's just there's just things that have to be more consistent. That's the problem.
Yeah, and going now that we can do more. Now that I saw it, because then when we recorded this earlier this week, I hadn't seen it, but Superman. So let me tell you. So Superman. Yes, I didn't have an issue with Man of Steel movie. I enjoyed the Man of Steel movie, even though they tried to make Superman all like serious and depressed. I don't know. It just felt like a very
they try to make
serious,
him Batman.
Yeah, and they didn't need to be that way at all. Towards the end of the movie, I liked it. I enjoyed it. The Superman in Batman vs Superman, I was not a fan of. Again, it just didn't feel like the Superman that I saw in Man of Steel. This Superman in Justice League, even though he's only in the last act, it felt like Superman as he's been portrayed in the animated series, in the old movies to a certain extent, in the comic books. He felt, like he now has a purpose. He wants to do good. His love is Lois, and Lois is there to support him. And that I was okay with that. But man, the CGI towards the end battle, you can clearly tell that the CGI with Superman was so fucking horrible. It's like they maybe that was one of the reshoot scenes that they filmed a couple months ago, last minute, and they didn't have time to CGI it. It was so bad.
People have been talking about it.
Yeah.
Because he had to be CGI'd because he was filming another movie, and he had a mustache, and he would not shave it off. I don't know who's...
No, here's it is. The director for the other movie that he's currently filming, or was filming in the summer, had to make a call. Do we shave the mustache and then give him a fake mustache, or not? And the director didn't want a fake mustache after he had already grown it. So Henry Cavill could not shave it, and the studio said, "Don't worry, we'll CGI it." And you could tell in some scenes when he was in the, like for example, a lot of the scenes in the farm.
The most obvious one was when he was revived.
Right.
Yeah.
Which begs me to think that Joss Whedon write him in the reshoots when he started writing the reshoots earlier this year to film it in the summer, because the movie was already filmed last year. So was he not in the movie at all last year? Was it just these 5 characters and Superman was not in it? Or was he in it and they threw out a lot of his scenes and then they added new ones?
If you watch the trailer, you'll notice there's things that didn't show up in the movie and they were reshot. You can just watch the trailer.
Or missing scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, heard that.
Yeah. So this movie, you can tell there's a lot of scenes missing. Some scenes were reshot. Like I can tell in the farm sequence when it's just Clark and Lois at the farm in Smallville. Bad, terrible green screen. You can tell that that the actors were not at the actual farm like they were in fucking Batman vs Superman or Man of Steel when they actually shot on a real farm. So I could tell that this was not like they shot just an empty scene of a farm and they added these 2 characters on a green screen. And I was like, why did they do that? So I'm guessing maybe that's part of the reshoots, and they didn't want the actors to fly to fucking Canada where the farm is actually filmed and do that. So that was, to me, that was a clear bad, call on Warner Brothers' part or whatever, and bad CGI or green screen. And as I mentioned, towards the last battle with Steppenwolf, Superman, for like 2 seconds, you can clearly see from head to toe, he was terrible CGI. While they did CGIs with Wonder Woman in the beginning and the middle, Aquaman flying and doing all this, and it looks real. It looks very realistic. And I was like, wow, I clearly know this is CGI, but man, Wonder Woman looks like Wonder Woman, like the actress, and Aquaman looks like the actor Jason Momoa. But Superman, man, they fucked him up at the end, man. Terrible. I don't know if you noticed that same shot when he was fighting Steppenwolf.
You did.
I did. Yeah, so yeah, man. I don't know what else I have to say about Justice League. A slight improvement over Batman vs Superman, but a lot of flaws.
Well, you can tell because fucking people are not watching it.
I'm actually curious to see what the cinematographer that filmed the movie said that earlier this year, the 2.5-hour version. I hope that they do that on the DVD. I mean, they've done it with all Zack Snyder's movies. He still gets full director credit on this. The actual cinematographer said that when he was doing the reshoots, that Joss Whedon's reshoots were about 20% of what we see in the movie. So the other 80% is actually what Zack Snyder filmed. So I'm just curious to see his cut, if they ever do that. I hope they do that on Blu-ray. Zack Snyder's director's cut. Are you curious, or you don't think that would even help the movie?
I'll watch it and see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't. In the end, what I have to say is that Warner Brothers is in a big shithole with their DC universe. Yeah,
and I think they actually pissed off Joss Whedon too. He didn't get much credit, and
he got a writing credit because he wrote a lot of the movie. Like I don't know what the percentage is for the Writers Guild. The Writers Guild is the writers union in Hollywood, and if they write a certain percent of the movie, you get a writing credit. So he got a sole writing credit. Well, not a sole writing credit. He got writing credit with Chris, whatever, the guy who wrote Batman vs Superman. So he got equal writing credit with him, but to me it feels like Joss Whedon just came in and didn't either. He might have had full control. Maybe the movie would have been better, but it feels to me that the Warner Brothers executives came in and took scenes out and just said, no, don't delete this, delete that, remove this, take that out, change this. There's the movie. Like they were just,
they said that he did direct the parts of the reshoots, and they didn't give him that credit.
No, the thing is that when he directs, let me go back to the director's guild.
And let me throw this too. He on his Twitter, 0 attempts to promote Justice League.
No, yeah, he didn't promote it at all. Yeah, so that's what. I
think there's bad blood there.
Here comes my next theory on this. So when a director comes to reshoot a movie, unless he reshoots a big number of the movie, he is not going to get sole directing credit. Remember, the credits when they opened, it said directed by Zack Snyder, not Joss Whedon. So let me go back to Superman 2. Superman 2 came out in 1980. With Christopher Reeve. Superman 2 was actually filmed, 75% of it was filmed by Richard Donner, who directed the first Superman. It was the first time that Hollywood told him to direct Superman 1 and 2 back to back. But then since the production was going too long, the studio in 1978 or 77 told Richard Donner, okay, you shot 75% of Superman 2. Stop shooting Superman 2, finish Superman 1. If it's great, we'll bring you back to finish Superman 2. There was bad blood with the producers of that original movie that they fired Richard Donner off of Superman 2. 75% of the movie that he shot, they only used 60 or 50% for Superman 2. They had another director to reshoot a lot of scenes, and that's why Richard Donner did not get credit for Superman 2. So the same thing would have happened with Zack Snyder's movie, Justice League, since they didn't reshoot a lot of the scenes. That's why Joss Whedon didn't get full credit or any credit. So that kind of explains why. I also think what you were trying to say, bad blood. I also think that Joss Whedon probably wanted to do a good movie and wrote a good movie and possibly even directed, because they said that the reshoots were supposed to be 4 weeks and they actually went 6-7 weeks. So Joss Whedon went over the schedule for the reshoots and went over the budget of the reshoots. So it seems to me that he wanted in his heart to make a good movie because he's a big comic book fan. Yeah. And I that's what goes back to my other theory that Warner Brothers executives, the top CEOs, came in and took apart Joss Whedon's reshoots. And
actually, you don't have to even guess. Zack Snyder's son has publicly said that Warner Brothers meddled in the movie.
Of course, there you go. There you go. You just did the research. And I didn't even know about that. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. So, his son went out and said it. I think there's a lot of blame going around for Justice League. And Joss Whedon is now avoiding it, it seems. Ben Affleck wants out. Zack Snyder's son is saying bad comments about it, towards Warner Brothers, basically.
Yeah, and it's what I mentioned. This
is a lot of...
On the unaired episode of this topic was that Ben Affleck... he was on a roll for having all this praise for directing great movies and being such a great actor in the last 7-8 years, that Batman vs Superman came out and he was like, oh shit, bad reviews. People hated, a lot of people hated him as Batman, and he just wanted out because he can't deal with negative criticism. And Justice League was on the same thing. So he's been said that he's not. People close to him are going unnamed, saying that he's not happy with the Batman character. He thought it was going to be one thing, and it was something completely different. So that's probably why he wants out.
I think everybody's mad except Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill are the only actors that I've seen on social media that actually love their characters. Henry Cavill, is Superman. I don't have an issue with him as Superman. I think he's a good Superman. I just think it's the writing and the studio stepping in and fucking up the vision. Yeah, of the directors or even the other director like Joss Whedon. It's just, Joss Whedon is very vocal. He was very vocal with the Avengers 1 and 2. When the Avengers 1 came out, he said that Marvel kind of changed some things without his consent. And then Avengers 2 came out. He said that Marvel changed a lot of things without his consent and wouldn't let him add extra scenes and this and that. And that's why he left after Avengers 2. He basically told Marvel to go fuck themselves and left.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen, dude, with Aquaman. I mean, Aquaman's done. They're just doing effects works now. I don't think they're gonna do any reshoots for it because the movie comes out in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
After they haven't even started Flash.
I think
they're in pre-production on Flash. That means they have a script, they have a producer, they have a cast. I don't think they locked down a director. They had some options, but I don't think they've locked the director down. And the Flash release date was February 2019.
With this fuck up now, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
This DC universe.
Yeah.
The only things they've done right is Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. That's it.
That's it. What a shitty ass Suicide Squad movie. God damn, that movie sucked.
Right, but everybody liked Harley Quinn out of it. That's like the best thing you get out of that movie. So
pretty much.
Seriously, the only two things DC has done well: Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn.
Yeah, because
Harley Quinn is not going to join Justice League. So
no, that's not going to happen. So,
yeah.
What did you think of the
Survivor Series?
Yeah, no, not yet. What did you think of the post-credit scenes in Justice League? The first one.
Actually, I forgot which was the first one. The one with Superman and Flash.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the thing between Flash and Superman. Like I said, this is once again they're trying to make Superman not as serious. So this is a good thing about it. The second one with Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of don't even like him.
I don't like him as Lex Luthor at all.
Lex Luthor is not Lex Luthor. He's not this calm, collective, super genius guy. He's this crazy fucker who thinks crazy shit.
When I was watching the movie,
and then talks nonsense,
and they showed that scene at the end, there was a kid behind me that said, "Oh, Mom, is that Deadpool?" That was Deathstroke.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude, it's like holy fuck. And for a second there, it did from a distance. It looked like Deadpool, so I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Oh well. Oh shit! Isn't there the characters' designs for at least what DC did is very similar to Deadpool. You know,
I mean, DC and Marvel share a lot of similarities with all their heroes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like you have, even in this movie, you had Aquaman, right?
Right.
Submariner in Marvel. The Flash, Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, I guess, would be Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's a better comparison, actually. I'm already running ideas. I forget who would be Superman. Well, Batman, Daredevil. That's an easy one.
No, I thought Batman was Iron Man. They're both millionaires.
Yeah, but both gritty and dark and don't want to kill people. They're in a dark city that's full of crime. There's a lot more similarities between Daredevil and him.
I guess you can. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Iron Man's not gritty at all.
No, not at all.
So Daredevil is more like it.
So, Ring of Honor. You attended a Ring of Honor event last week?
Yeah, I went to night 2 of Survival of the Fittest, which was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
The show attracted, I don't know, the number to me is probably like 2,000 or 3,000, or I'm not good at counting crowds. It was definitely, a few. It filled up the place. Let me put it that way. They did sell out. everybody was wearing Bullet Club shirts, like every single person except like these two couple in the front row. They were wearing the Kingdom shirts, which the Kingdom was kind of funny. During intermission they were trying to sell the shirts, so they were actually kind of going back and forth with the fan. This fan was the one screaming at them during the show. He was saying rude stuff, like really nasty stuff. So they were kind of at it, and then they were basically calling him a virgin. And at one point he was like, "No, I have a girlfriend. Here she is." And you're like, "Guess what, dude? No one cares." And like, you don't want to be a virgin no more. Buy these shirts. And then there was like this pretty girl who bought one, and they're like, "Look, see, she's gonna get laid tonight." Yeah, it was kind of funny. I stood there. I was just going into the bathroom, but I was watching all this happening. It was pretty entertaining.
It's not entertaining to me, sir. I just fell asleep.
No, you were laughing. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right, and then every match of the show was pretty good. One match that was changed from the original card was Kenny King, who's in the Bachelor or whatever. I don't watch it, but maybe you do, Robert.
I don't watch that bullshit. Come on now. I hardly watch TV.
You're a big fan? Oh.
The only thing I watch on TV is South Park and Real Time with Bill Maher and a bunch of HBO shows. That's about it.
So you're a big fan of The Bachelor and you know who Kenny King is. Okay. Yeah. So he had a match against Scorpio Sky. He was supposed to have a match with Kazarian, and Kazarian got hurt the night before. That's why he was not in the card. The Young Bucks had a match, and it was against Dalton Castle versus Jay Lethal. There was a lot of fun, funniness to it, because the Young Bucks like to hug each other. They're brothers, real life brothers, and they kiss each other in the cheek. And so Dalton Castle is kind of those characters where you think, he could be gay, kind of character. Mm-hmm. They don't actually ever say it, but he has an actual girlfriend in real life, or wife, I forget. But he's not actually gay, but his character, walks that line. You're not sure if he is or isn't, because he never actually says it. And anyways, he give Jay Lethal a hug, and then a little kiss in the cheek. Everybody was laughing, and it was fun all around.
So he does the European way of saying hi, kisses on the cheek.
Hispanics too?
Yeah, I kiss you on the cheek when I say hi.
Oh, not to men.
Men do it in Europe.
Oh.
And
so when I go to Europe, I should do that, huh?
I kiss my brothers on the cheek when I see them.
I'll see the cop. I'm like, "Hey, let me kiss you in the cheek."
Exactly.
That was an awesome match. Then the main event was Cody Rhodes versus Christopher Daniels. Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes, people were in from WWE. He was Stardust. And Christopher Daniels was in TNA for a while, went back to ROH. He was from ROH, TNA to ROH. That's his history, basically. In a quick version of it. Anyways, great match. And then one of the high spots, which is at the very end, Christopher Daniels sets the table on fire. I tweeted this video. I should have kept the video going on longer, because like a second or two after, he just goes through it. But anyways, Christopher Daniels goes to the table, flaming the table, and gets pinned. 1, 2, 3. I found out later on, he got Christopher Daniels did get burns on his shoulders.
Oh. No bueno.
Yeah, it's crazy, because this is just... It's being taped, but it's taped for a VOD that's gonna be online. And I guess DVDs as well, but this is not on TV or anything.
When's the streaming app coming out? Do they have an official date?
I know it's next year, and I'm gonna probably get on that as well. Depends on the price and that kind of stuff.
What would be a price that would be ideal for you, and you think would be ideal for fans?
Said 10 or less.
That's quickly adding up. $10 for Netflix, $10 for this, $10 for WWE, $10 for whatever, HBO Go if people are now, or Hulu, $10.
New Japan, I have that too.
Look at that. That's quickly adding up. It's almost like if a person watches all these apps or uses all these apps, that's like $50 to $60.
I'm not paying WWE actually. My friend has it. I just use his account.
Got it.
So actually, I'm only paying for New Japan. I used to pay for Stardom. I do plan to get back on that at some point. But yeah.
Oh, Stardom has their own app?
Yeah, that's how I was watching it. Well, it's not really an app. They don't have an app. It's you go to their website and you can stream it off of Chromecast.
What's this app called? Team Fight or is that an app that they show wrestling as well?
Yeah, they do show ROH there. They show
what's it called?
The Fight app. It's like
FITE. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. They show CMLL.
And you have to pay for that as well?
Like ROH, their weekly TV show, it's free on there.
Oh.
But the pay-per-views and stuff, yeah, you have to pay for that.
Give me a da.
Yeah, ROH has still been doing the pay-per-view model, which looks like it's going to go away next year when they start putting streaming services together. So that'll be cool. New Japan does show ROH stuff, but you can't watch it in the American region. You have to be Japanese to watch it.
No bueno, sir.
Yeah, if I lived in Japan, cool. I don't, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it was an awesome show. Long lines for the Young Bucks to get autographs and pictures. Nothing surprising there. Solid show. I've seen so much high praise online and about this show.
And the Young Bucks?
Yeah, the Young Bucks themselves, they're one of the biggest tag teams just overall in wrestling outside of WWE. Even within WWE, they're pretty. I shouldn't say WWE. I should say wrestling. They're pretty big. They're officially now the number one bestseller on Hot Topic.
I hate that store.
Your favorite store?
Fuck that store. That store's retarded.
I like the store.
Nobody goes to that store anymore. What the fuck? Like
I do.
That's it's overpriced.
My mom's overpriced.
It's a piece of shit. Yes, she is. You still owe her money, actually.
Actually, they had a Black Friday sale for $10 their shirts.
$10?
So there you go. Huh?
So you said $10?
$10, and if you go to ROH's website to buy a Young Buck shirt from New Japan, like the Bullet Club kind of stuff, that's $35.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Insane, sir.
So insane in the membrane.
And how about Survivor Series? Since we discussed it on the previous episode. We discussed your predictions and what the wrestling was at the point that you are not even watching it as much because of Monday Night Football and it's just not as good. But besides that, how was Survivor Series?
I did not watch the pre-show. This is like one of the first times I've not watched it.
You did not watch the pre-show? What the fuck happened, sir?
I watched Ric Flair 30 for 30 instead.
Ah, yes. I haven't seen that. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, very well done. Like the first half of the movie, I didn't know. It was a lot of his personal stuff. Like he's adopted. That kind of stuff.
Oh, shit. I had no idea.
Yeah. And then his second half was, wrestling stuff, which I already knew. Because, I've been following him and watch his old stuff too. So it really well done. Very well done. I would highly recommend catching that. Ric Flair 30 for 30 on ESPN. I had a DVR, so I watched it. I had like a replay that day.
I'm going to have to look for that. Was it long?
It's like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
And the pre-show was like 2 hours, so yeah.
I'll search for it now on the Uverse app and see if I can find a replay.
Yeah. So, the Cruiserweight title is in the pre-show. I've given up with the WWE Cruiserweight. They do not care.
No fucking way, dude. How can you do that?
I love the Cruiserweight Classic, the tournament they had to get the first champion. Well done. After that, it went downhill, slowly but surely, and to the point I'm like, I'm not even watching this anymore.
Oh, that bad, huh?
Yeah, I did a comparison against New Japan's junior heavyweight title, which is this kind of the same idea, lighter guys.
Right.
Their title is way more held in higher esteem than WWE's because Like headline shows, like one of their shows, it could be the main event, and a match in a card like Wrestle Kingdom where it's just 2 other titles, but several more titles. But it's gonna be one of the top 3 matches, like one of the last 3 matches of the night. It's not gonna be your opening match or your pre-show match. It let these guys wrestle their style. It's so much better than the V's version. So I'm not watching the V's version because it's just crap to me. Nothing against the wrestlers themselves. They're not going all out. They're that style that I want for that type of division.
Right.
And then you have a joke of a champion, Enzo Amore, who can't even wrestle. He just talks. I have no care for this division, so I didn't even watch this match. I do know Enzo wins, but whatever, doesn't matter.
You don't care about it?
No. This even kills Kalisto. He's the one who fought him for it. Kalisto's like I think a luchador, and he loses to Enzo, who's a big joke. It's not good.
No bueno.
The rest of the pay-per-view, I'm not going to every single match here, but yeah, there was some good matches. It was the Shield versus New Day. I liked it. The women's elimination match, a lot of chaos. Not my favorite thing. Nia Jackson, Tamina had a little thing going on. That was kind of cool. Then another great match was the Usos versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Liked that one a lot. Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss, another good one. Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. I kind of dreaded watching it because I knew Brock was going to win. AJ Styles is just all of a sudden became champion, and he's facing Brock because no one knows who Jinder Mahal is, and he can't have this kind of profile match yet. Do you know who Jinder Mahal is, Robert?
But I want to. If I'm away. Yeah, I hear you. Mierda.
Robert's not talking.
I am talking. What are you talking about? I'm right here, dude. What are you talking about?
Right. Like I'm saying, do you even know who Jinder Mahal is?
Hell no.
Right. So it's a match that happened. You knew who was going to win. AJ Styles did put on a good match with Brock, but obviously I would have rather had AJ Styles win. And there's just a lot of things to complain about that match, like AJ Styles hitting his finisher multiple times. It's phenomenal for him. His, I guess, second finisher.
Mm-hmm.
Brock doesn't go down. Brock does his F5 one time. AJ, he wins. I don't like that kind of stuff. And then the last match was the shitter of all shits.
Oh, I like that. Shitter of all shits.
Yeah. John Cena comes out. He's not wearing blue. Okay, whatever. Triple H is in this match. Why? Kurt Angle, sure, he's the GM. It kind of makes sense. Triple H, all of a sudden, taking over Jason Jordan's spot. Jason Jordan was the youngest guy. Now the youngest guy is Braun Strowman. He's like at 34 or 35. Everybody else is older. And Braun eliminates Nakamura and Rude quickly. 2 stars on the rise, destroyed. To Braun. Orton and Shane do some stuff. Cena does almost nothing.
Why?
Triple H backstabs Kurt Angle so he could beat up Shane McMahon himself as well. It's just basically the whole highlight of this thing was just Triple H backstabbing his own team, namely Kurt Angle, which could build up a match for later on, I guess, for WrestleMania. Joe and Finn Balor didn't really have much going on in this match. Braun did some stuff, but he didn't win it for the team or nothing. He just eliminated 2 people quickly. This was just a clusterfuck to me. We're not building for the future. The guys who should have had some great time on this match didn't. This match is really all about the game, and the game's been on top for too long.
Way too long.
I mean, like, people were comparing this to earlier, like 20 years ago. We have a lot of the same guys still on top, which is Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon, and Cena. And these guys are already in their twilight of their career. Who's taken over? We're not at that stage.
I'm gonna take over.
Cool. That's more entertaining than people we've seen 20 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
You're joking, right?
No.
Oh, sure. No bueno.
Yeah. So, Survivor Series, I liked it for the most part. I skipped the pre-show. If you skip the last match, you'll be better off.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, you won't. I think.
Wait, what was that?
You already canceled your subscription to the WWE network, right?
Long time ago. They gave it to me for 3 months for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canceled. I think you only watched WrestleMania too. You didn't even watch anything else, did you?
Yeah, it was just WrestleMania. Yeah.
And you had it for 3 months.
Yeah, I didn't watch not a fucking thing right after that. Not a fucking thing.
See, that's the problem. They're not pulling in people. I feel like, sure, they're making more money, but I think it's because a lot of their crowd is becoming more and more just the hardcore crowd, and they're the ones spending the money. Someone casual like you comes in like maybe once a year and you're done. There's nothing pulling you in to watch more. You didn't even pay to watch it once a year. You just watched it for free in their app.
That's it, and I was done.
They didn't make no money off of you at all, period.
None whatsoever, sir. Not at all.
So, seriously, I think they're making all their money from the hardcore crowd. And I don't know how long they could keep that up. Because there's fans like me who's not even really watching Raw or SmackDown no more. I mean, I'll watch it once in a while. I'm not going to say never. Like I said before, it's the fall. WWE gives
football
up during
season.
the fall because of football.
Yeah.
So I know not to watch Raw during Monday Night Football. So
that fucks them up a lot.
Yeah, and then it reflects on their product because they don't try.
Yep.
Like I missed Raw this week of Thanksgiving here, and the only thing that came out of it was Paige showed up with NXT girls, and I think that's the only compelling thing that happened on Raw, and I could watch that in a 2-minute clip. So no real reason to watch it.
None whatsoever.
No, I'll give it watch it once in a while, but really, I could cut up on Raw on the podcast or Reddit or something like that, or YouTube, and I'll be fine.
Huh. Okay. If you say so, sir.
Yeah. Once football season's done, I probably will go back. I mean, when football season's done, they're going to start building up for WrestleMania, so it's kind of the best time to start watching. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is next? What's after wrestling?
All they have left really is It'll Do 2. I got it for the Switch.
Oh, yeah. It's from the team that did The Binding of Isaac and It'll Do 1. Did you play it? It'll Do 1?
No, you don't need to.
Why don't we need to?
The story is not much of a story. The story is the main character, the girl with the flying fox.
Do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just the main character crashes on an island. Like, oh, to get off, I need a new raft. Let me kill these bosses. They have raft pieces, which is just pieces of wood. You could cut down a tree and make it. So the story's not much. I mean, they make fun of themselves they point that out. It's just a lighthearted comedy, but it's really built on top of A Link to the Past. There's a lot of secrets in the game, a lot of cool puzzles, boss fights, dungeons with keys, all that kind of stuff. The traditional game, Zelda game, like I said, very much compared to Link to the Past.
Interesante. So how are you enjoying it?
I already beat it, so I can go back and do more stuff. I probably will, but it's like I said, it's a good dungeon game. Reminds me a lot of Zelda, which is a great thing. It's fun. It's funny. I recommend it. It's only like $20. or so. So it's not a huge investment either.
Really? It's only $20? I thought it was like a $40 game. Like Binding of Isaac was like, or I don't know if it still is, like $40.
Look, I'll look it up in Amazon real quick here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, $30, whatever.
So it is $30?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Still, $30 for a funny game is not much.
Not much, sir.
And by the way, since it was an Amazon, Thanksgiving is out for Amazon Video, so I can watch it there.
Oh, it's free on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, if you have Prime, it's free.
Oh shit! We're gonna watch it. Should I play? Should I play a clip of it?
Sure.
Okay.
Nice tits, bitch. Oh fuck! I'm pissed.
Did you hear that?
Your dog had an accident. What the hell? What kind of accident? Well, I took this here axe and I accidentally cut him. Get it?
Get it?
Accident.
Accidentally cut him. These are the turkey's best line in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so this is a turkey talking.
When the fuck did this movie come out?
In mid-2000s, I think. Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
I think we should watch it and review it.
This is one of those things I want to watch. It's a bad movie that's funny.
What is this? You know, on YouTube, they have like recommended videos to watch, and they're recommending Pork Chop. What the fuck is Pork Chop? I'm gonna click on Pork Chop and see what the fuck that is. It's a minute and 30 seconds of the trailer. It says Pork Chop official trailer. It's had 1.6 million views. Huh? So it's gone viral. Right? It viral is when it goes over 1 million views.
I guess.
It was published in 2011. Oh, so this has been out for a while. Razor Sharp Productions.
This movie looks like crap.
What, the Pork Chop?
Yeah.
Are you watching it?
When you go
kind of.
I'm playing the audio here.
Remember, watch out.
Watch out for snakes.
I heard if you make a lot of noise, it scares away snakes.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, this is...
That guy is so terrible.
We could focus on a few bloody snakes.
He's like laughing at the end of his line.
Ticks? Ticks where?
That was bad.
The occasional robot.
See, Richie? I win. Again.
A robot? There's the robot screwing the woman?
Yeah, people go watch the trailer or whatever they want to. But I am kind of interested in reviewing Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't think I want to watch this Pork Chop.
No.
Watch
It
out
looks so
for
bad.
Pork Chop.
What the heck is this? Oh shit, so it's a man with a chainsaw and he has a mask of a pig. He has a mask of a pig. Get it?
Right.
Pork Chop.
Give me it.
I'm gonna continue playing the Thanksgiving.
No, it's fine.
No such thing as an evil turkey.
South Park, as I mentioned, hasn't been good. The last episode I saw of South Park, I haven't seen. They didn't give us new South Park this week. I noticed, maybe because of the holiday. Huh. Yeah. They focus a lot on Cartman's girlfriend, and now Cartman's girlfriend gained weight, so she looks and talks like Cartman now. So it's kind of like having like two Cartmans. And it's just not appealing to me. I didn't laugh much at all. I just hope that these guys, I don't think the season's over yet, so when they come back, they, make better South Park.
Right.
What say you?
I haven't watched it, so I can't say.
I know, you son of a bitch, you gotta catch up. We got to do our weekly South Park talks.
Right.
So anything else we want to add before we wrap this up?
You can follow us on Bits for You podcast. The number 4. Or 4.
Bits for You podcasts on Twitter. Facebook the same. Email is bitsforyoupodcast@gmail.com. BITS, the number 4. YOU podcast@gmail.com. And
Discord as well.
Discord as well? Or Discord?
Oh, yeah,
channel?
I tweet it. You could just click on that.
Right, but they have to
invite.
click on the invite. If not, they won't
Yeah,
be.
I can't just tell you blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to tell you to go to the Twitter and then click on the link, which is when we tweet about Discord, that's the link. Invite link to join our channel.
Yeah, so you should tweet about it now.
Yeah. Boom, tweeted.
Boom, done. All right, so I'm going to post this episode in a couple minutes. I'm going to go online.
Cool.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Laters.
Stay awesome. And ninja-like.
Right. I will. Always.
Later. All right, so let us know your feedback on the podcast. Thank you for listening to the Bits for You. Our email, you guys already know. I'm not going to repeat it. Our Instagram is bitsforyoupod. And please review us on iTunes, on the other apps that there are for podcasts. For example, Stitcher. You can review us there. PodBean is our hosting site, and they have a great podcast app that has a feature that allows you to skip silence moment or silent moments in a podcast. It will detect it automatically, and it will just go over it for those long awkward silences that some shows have. I try to keep that to a minimum on ours, but this is I try not to do a lot of editing, as in conversations. There's no like you end a word and then the next person's word just comes right out. Sometimes there's a pause of a second or so, and I just try to keep it as natural as possible. The only editing I do is mostly filters of white noise, background noise, humming sounds, buzzing sounds that might be caused by interference in mics or quality in the recording sessions or phone call sessions that we do. So it's a cool app, cool feature. Hopefully, I'm hoping that other apps will take that into consideration and use that feature. I on the other hand don't require that feature. I'm okay with the second or so pauses. It just seems more natural to me. So yeah, I'll stop rambling there. Bits for You is our email, bitsforyoupodcasts@gmail.com. Please give us topics or ideas for future shows. We will give you a shout out on it and let the world know it came from you, and that way you get some credit. So want to interact with the fans in that aspect, and that's it. What I'm thinking is going to happen is we did a live commentary while we watched the movie The Room. The Room by Tommy Wiseau. Wiseau is how his name is pronounced. It was released in 2003 to terrible reviews. It is considered the Citizen Kane of bad movies. So those of you that follow film or cinema know that Citizen Kane is considered one of the pioneers of a lot of techniques in movies and cinema over the last, I guess you would say, almost 100 years of cinema. Well, they considered The Room the Citizen Kane of bad movies. It's just the acting is terrible, the direction, the writing. There's like festivals that people do to watch it all around the world, and they dress up as these characters and laugh, and some of them, it's a bad movie that's so bad that you have to watch it and you can't look away. So we decided to do a commentary track for the movie. There's some pieces of trivia in the commentary track. You can watch the movie while you listen to it because, as I just mentioned, it's a live commentary. It's synced to the movie. I actually give some form of a countdown during the opening credits, so you can watch the movie along with us. I think YouTube Red is the YouTube, I think that's what they call it, the one that you pay for like $7 or $8 a month or whatever the heck the fee is. You can watch a lot of movies on YouTube Red. I believe the room is on there. If it's not there, I believe one of these other video on demand apps like iTunes or Amazon should have it or might have it. I didn't do research before to confirm if it's on there, but I don't. We saw it on YouTube, so it should be there, still be there. It had a bunch of views, so watch it with us while you're listening to us, or watch the movie first, without the podcast, and watch it again with us commentating during the movie. So look forward to that. I'm gonna be releasing it in the next, maybe the next episode, because The Disaster Artist. It's a film directed by James Franco. Seth Rogen produced it, and he's in it. James Franco's acting in it. His brother Dave Franco's in it. All the Rogen people. I don't know if Apatow had anything to do with it, but that group of actors that have been doing movies for the last 10 years and making us laugh, they read the book The Disaster Artist. So James Franco in particular, and he decided to make a movie based on the book that's based on the movie The Room. So that's what gave us the inspiration to do a live commentary. It's done by Erlen and Frankie. So look forward to that in the next episode, because it's coming out December 8th nationwide in theaters near you. So I'm trying to do it before so you guys can watch the original before you watch the movie based on the book based on the original The Room. Hope you guys enjoy that.